at the end. I'm actually in the office today for a change, so hopefully no inopportune Amazon deliveries or dog barking to disturb us. So without further ado, we will press on with today's session. So just a quick note for those of you who aren't familiar with Johnson Fleming. We are a pension and benefits specialist providing consultancy, admin, and crucially for this webinar, employee engagement and education services to many hundreds of clients, some of whom are joining us today. So a very warm welcome to you. Accumulatively, that means we help our clients to manage their benefits for hundreds of thousands of employees. So it'd be fair to say we have certainly gained some experience in understanding their needs and wants. In early 2020, we became part of the NFP group. And if you aren't familiar with Johnson Fleming, then you might not be aware of NFP. However, they are the world's 5th largest benefit broker, so provide some significant global presence as well. And as their UK operation, we can provide you with the support, whatever your insurance or benefit requirements. And again, we have a number of NFP clients with us today. So again, a big welcome to you also. Within this webinar, we'll look at a number of pillars to obtaining that value from your platform. We'll start by setting clear objectives and managing expectations. We'll then look at some of the key elements to consider within the platform, followed by the considerations for transitioning, and then looking at engagement techniques you might want to apply and how your MI can support your benefit strategy. Hopefully there's something in this for everyone, regardless if you're considering a platform for the first time or looking at switching away from an existing solution. But before we start, everyone's interpretation of a benefits platform is different. So what do we mean by employee benefit platform? The range of solutions that can fall under this descriptive term varies greatly and may extend from a simple view-only application to host your benefits through to portals which offer interactive engagement options on a global basis. The features you get will depend on the type of platform you choose, but whether it has limited features like voluntary benefits and discounts or more complexities such as the management of flex benefits, total reward and enhanced communication functions, they are still all classified as benefit platforms. Now, the key function of the benefit platform is to engage your employees with the benefits you offer, whilst reducing the amount of time the person managing it needs to spend doing so. Within the webinar, we will highlight the key features of the benefits platforms to help you identify which are the most relevant to you and ultimately how you can maximize the return you achieve on your investment. So within our first session, and as the title of the webinar it suggests, is maximising the value of your chosen benefits platform. So to enable you to do so, firstly, you need to choose the right platform for your business. Now, a good way to go about this is to set yourself clear objectives and tangible outcomes to manage your and other key stakeholders' expectations about delivery and what your platform is likely to achieve. Within the next few slides, we will consider some key points which should not only help you to select the right platform, but may support you in obtaining approval for the project and form the basis of your RFP should you choose to go to tender. The first element to consider is what is it you actually want from a platform, or to put it another way, how complex do you want it to be? This might sound quite simple, but by creating a clear list of what you actually want a platform to do, rather than just simply the features they offer, will allow you to choose the functionality you require to achieve your objectives. Are you looking for it to simply host your benefit offering and act as a means to signpost employees to find out more information? Or do you want a more sophisticated approach offering things like flex or total reward? That will be the basis of your engagement strategy and provide MI to drive decisions. So a good place to start is where are you now, and ultimately, where do you want to get to? How do you currently engage employees with their benefits? Do you currently offer this in a digitalized format, and where is it hosted? Do you currently have a platform, and if so, what is the extent of its functionality? And do you have a clear understanding of what works for your people, and perhaps what doesn't? Knowing where we are starting from, and with a clear understanding of where we want to get to, allows us to better scope the extent of the project and the time frame it's likely to take. And we'll segment our objectives into two distinct areas. those which are our business focus or our business needs, and those which have a people focus. So from a business need perspective, how many systems do you currently use to feed data? And how easy are they to integrate into the platform? Your platform requirements will determine the extent of this need, as a view-only benefit housing requires far lower data management than a more complex interactive strategy. To help us make informed decisions and understand the effectiveness of the benefit strategy, it's important to be able to obtain clear MI from the platform. Now, every business's requirement may differ dependent upon their objectives, but areas such as knowing the level of engagement, including who accesses the platform and in what frequency, plus the level of benefit take-up and the cost per benefit, allows you to evaluate and evolve your strategy. As part of your business need, it's worth considering how easy is it to obtain this information in real time, or do you need to access reports? And would this be included at an additional cost? We'll be referring to engagement a few times within this webinar, and we really can't understate its importance when considering the right platform. Now, I think this is a trap some employers can fall into when they select a benefits platform, thinking that just because the benefits are now available online, the job is done and employers will be engaging with their benefits. What many then learn is that whilst engagement may initially spike, when you launch the shiny new platform, this can often wear off. Consider how you currently engage with your people and how you may want to evolve this. What tools and facilities will you need from the platform to deliver engagement, and who will manage this? Now, different platforms will have different tools to help you drive engagement, from the relatively simple platform-created campaign material to more sophisticated and customizable strategies. Engagement isn't just about hosting an online presence. What other channels does the platform offer to engage people? How customizable is the imagery and the text used? Can you embed video? And what support is available to help create content? And the platform can be used for company-wide engaging communications, not just restricted to your benefits. It's an easy way to promote social events, notices, Christmas party details, if you can remember those, or anything else. Plus, it keeps a log of these actions and can report back on who opens them. You can use it to segment your employees by location, role, demographics. So it's an ideal way for HR to generate and schedule communications that are just a little bit more than the simple email. After all, if you want to engage your people, firstly, you have to grab their attention. Are you looking for a one-stop solution for all your digital engagement? Something that links to everything you offer, like your discount and benefits portal, reward and recognition, cycle to work, wellbeing support, etc. Everything can be driven to the hub from all your contracts. And the more times employees visit your site, the more the rest of the content will resonate with them. Include things like payslips, holiday and absence management tools is another great way to drive traffic. Now, there's a good question. Should this be integrated from a single provider, or is what you're actually looking for a seamless integration between the various benefit offerings, but with a uniform appearance to enhance the user experience? Depending on what you're looking for, may influence your choice of provider. Another factor to consider is your existing and anticipated business structure. Do you have multiple operations that require different delivery or branding? Is the platform targeted at the UK only, or are you looking for something with global capabilities, either initially or allowing for expansion? Again, understanding these factors will allow you to choose a platform that works for you, is aligned to your objectives, and provides a clear set of guidelines to those tendering for your business. Having identified our business objectives for delivering the platform, now let's look at things from our people's perspective. What does the demographics of your workforce look like? Consider age, income, locations, on-site or in-field access to IT, etc. What is the existing level of digitization within your business? Does everyone have access to email capability to view sites? Now, there is perhaps a misconception with some employers about employees' ability to access online content. However, experience has shown us that this is often not the case. Whilst employees may not have access to terminals at work, most will still be able to get online using smartphones or other home-based mobile devices. Now, when considering your platform options, what does the user journey feel like? When someone uses your benefits platform, how do you want them to feel? And crucially, what do you want them to do? The user journey needs to be simple and intuitive for them to use and available at any time and on any device. If the user experience is clunky, hard to follow, or requires too many clicks to navigate, there's a good chance you will disengage your workforce. When looking at the platform with your people focus, explore the user journey using your own smartphone and having a demo. And then you'll get a real feel for what the user experience feels like for your employees. If you happen to have a diverse demographic, you may need to use multiple channels to get messaging over. So consider the MI from a people perspective and how easy it is to segregate the workforce to support more focused messaging. Now, as I said in the introduction, there is an array of options which compete for your attention, all sitting under the banner of benefits platform. Here we're trying to visualize the types of solution available, growing in customization and complexity as we move from left to right. Now, some platforms suggest a way of digitalizing your benefits to host online, which are what we've illustrated as option 1. Now, as an initial step, this might be the perfect option to really showcase your benefits in an engaging way, or use as a stepping stone to introducing a full platform a bit later on down the road. Option 2 is the development of simply hosting, as being to incorporate a package benefit offering with some pre-formatted benefits and discounts and functions to provide a plug-and-play instant benefit solution for employers. Again, we've seen quite a growth in that segment over the last sort of 12 or 18 months. Option 3 illustrates where a number of sort of the leading providers that were formerly in option 1 or 2 have moved to and have evolved their offering to extend its functionality to move a little bit closer to the right-hand side type options. They've taken the core purpose of driving traffic to their rewards and discounts offering and added increased communication and reporting functionality to broaden their appeal. And sometimes the lines can become a little blurred. Now, they may offer MI or communications, so effectively, that box ticks, but are those functions restricted only to the benefits they deliver rather than your full suite of benefits? Now, if we look at examples like Reward Gateway or Sodexo, these are great examples. They've extended the offering and become more and more like what we call a full benefit platform. However, there are still limitations to the MI and the communication functionality, and it's often just restricted to the sort of thing that they're promoting on their sites. So again, something to think about. Now, depending upon your size, budget, and starting point, this might be the right option for you. But as with everything in life, you pay for what you get. So just have a realistic expectation as to what this will achieve in terms of developing and maintaining your engagement. Cycle back to your requirements and expectations to make sure the functionality and delivery will actually meet what you expect from it. Our last 2 options are both what we would describe as a platform offerings. And due to the cost of developing and maintaining these, there are significantly less providers within this space than the previous options. They are likely to offer things like flex benefit management, total reward statement, communication tools, and detailed MI reporting, with user journeys created to enhance your benefit offering and personalization. So the far right of our image is for options is to commission a fully customizable platform, which can deliver, frankly, whatever you want it to. However, it will obviously come at a price. We will consider the impact of coding, which is a requirement to fully customize, within the next section. So the final factor we can consider here is budget. And to determine your objectives and expectations, you've then got to build in what is your budget. Just as there are a vast range of platform options available, so too is the cost of providing them. Now, it may sound obvious, but the higher up the complexity scale you choose, with the greater functionality this offers, the higher the potential cost will be, both initially and ongoing. An entry-level platform is likely to cost from around £3,000 upwards, with fees increasing as the functionality it offers increases. But as we have said, this type of solution is more likely to focus on driving its own commercial revenues and promoting the engagement of your benefits. The key question is that if you choose a platform that offers a limited pre-formatted benefit offering and basic engagement tools, is it reasonable to expect this to do the same job as the more sophisticated options available? I just meet too many clients who have chosen options from the left-hand scale and wonder why employees remain unengaged with their benefit offering. Now, something that delivers a more sophisticated offering with benefit management, customization, MI reporting, and communications functions is going to start from circa 15 to £20,000 upwards. I should state, however, that this can be the starting point, as some of the solutions will cost a lot more, especially if you're looking for a global rollout, bespoke customization, or you have a really complex benefit offering where costs can really escalate significantly. Ongoing costs are largely governed by your employee headcount, with a reduction in the cost per head as numbers increase. Most platforms also offer fees for a basic package, with other additional modules like communications coming at additional cost. So again, it's important to understand what is included if a nasty shock is to be avoided. Determining what you really need is the key to maximising the value you'll obtain from the platform, as going for the lower cost option is actually an expensive choice if it doesn't meet your needs and expectations. Similarly, spending tens or even hundreds of thousands on the most customizable solution represents really poor value if a less complex offering would deliver everything that you need it to. So having set out our objectives for introducing or replacing a platform, and with realistic expectations of what we expect it to deliver, the next stage will be to consider what are the key elements we should be looking for when selecting our platform provider. So for the purposes of clarity, we'll now be focusing on the right-hand end of the spectrum as detailed within the previous slide rather than the left, although there is no reason why some of these elements might not form part of your selection criteria for these as well. To code or not to code, that is the question. Historically, platforms have been built for each individual client using bespoke code, so that the platform it creates is developed for the specific needs of the client, which is great for a truly customized experience, especially if you have a really complex benefit structure. The downside is that it's expensive to build and maintain, and as any changes required will need to be made by the provider's IT team, in addition to the cost, this also takes quite a long time. Now, anyone with experience of operating a platform in the past 10 or 15 years will doubtless recognize this assessment. The reality is, however, that many or even possibly most clients don't actually need a fully bespoke solution, as the functions of what they require from a platform, or at least certain key elements, are fairly standardized, such as hosting of benefits, flex windows, data feeds, etc. So we've now seen a trend towards configuration rather than coding. With this approach, the platform provider has an architecture in place where it configures the system to your needs rather than creates code from scratch, with the benefit that it's generally both quicker to build, easier to amend, and delivered at a lower cost than coding. And many of the leading platform providers have adopted this methodology to some extent to save both build time and cost, with some offering a configuration-only approach only. Which is right for you? Well, it obviously depends on your circumstances and the objectives, and whilst configuration may not offer the full extent of customization that coding provides, in our experience, most employers don't really need that level of customization and will probably never exceed the parameters offered by the configuration style providers. Just apologies to anyone who is using the chat box. The screen at the moment is really small, so it's not something I'm able to read as I'm delivering, but we will definitely get around to your questions towards the end of the presentation. Just thought I'd sort of interject at that stage. So the second element to consider is its ability to allow you to customize the platform. This isn't just about how the platform was created using code or configuration, although that may have an influence on how changes can be implemented and at what cost. But how easy is it to customize elements to suit your requirements? Can you change the look and feel of the platform, including background, banners, images, etc.? How easy is it to change or introduce new content or make amends to the existing benefits? Can you embed video content or links to further improve the user experience? It's important to keep the content of your platform fresh and current so it remains engaging for employees and encourage them to visit it on a regular basis. It's worth considering how easy it is to make alterations, who has to undertake them, i.e. the platform provider or you, and crucially, is this free or at an additional cost? We've already discussed the importance of engaging employees with our benefits, so one element to consider is what communication tools does the platform offer? Now, whilst even the less sophisticated options we consider may tick the box in offering this to some degree, it's worth taking a closer look at what these actually deliver. Most of the leading platforms now offer some form of communication tools or modules. These are often chargeable as an additional cost, which will allow you to segregate your workforce to provide some degree of personalization to your people. When considering these options, think about who's going to use them. Are you going to rely on the provider-led campaign materials, or does your internal HR and benefits team want to use them to communicate directly with your people? Some providers will also offer communication specialists to help you design and deliver an engagement strategy and really help you to maximize the impact your benefits platform offers. But again, this is going to come at an additional cost. Your new platform needs to talk to a lot of systems to allow it to operate effectively. Consider how many internal systems you use: HR, payroll, holiday management, payslips, etc., not to mention the external systems for your benefit providers. How will this data integration and flow be managed? And what is the resource impact this has? Does this need to be upgraded to your does this need to be uploaded to your platform provider who performs this function? One of the benefits of using a platform is to reduce the amount of administration you undertake. So the transfer of data automated? Your new platform should be intuitive as just what needs to be done and when. It should integrate with all your other HR systems seamlessly. And finally, it should be fast. The last thing you want is your HR team spending days on tasks that could be automated in a couple of minutes, such as data checks, validation, reports, etc. With modern platforms, it should be as simple as putting your data into a folder on a server, and the system should be automatically picking it up, checking it, prompting you to address any errors, and then processing it. And this shouldn't need a complex and expensive APIs to achieve. The platform should be plug and play and be able to integrate with all your existing systems. The administration backend needs to be as simple as possible to use, intuitive, and remove all repetition. Now, these features will drastically reduce the amount of time it takes to administer your benefits and free your time to use it more effectively, to engage with your people. Now, for your organization, it means you can reduce your administration costs. And with more automation, it also means you'll be able to reduce any errors that can cause your HR department a nightmare to address and solve. User experience is all about how easy or pleasing it is for your people to use your platform. And like Steve Jobs said, start the customer experience and then work back towards the technology. And let's face it, he knew a thing or two about user experience. It's something like companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon invest millions into. I'm sure we've all had a bad online user experience and know the frustration that this creates. Don't let the technology dictate how your people have to use your system. That's a surefire way to stop people using the system. When you're exploring potential options for a new employee benefits platform, you should think about the ease of use and the user journey. Brand and look won't overcome a system which does not offer a good user journey. Most platforms now claim to be mobile device compatible. However, there can be a big difference in what that actually means. So as we've said before, when you're having a demo of potential platforms, ask to see a demo on your phone. After all, that's probably how the majority of your people are going to see it. Then you might want to get your HR team to have a look at the admin side of things. And again, the last thing you want to do is purchase a platform that your internal people find a nightmare to use. So you may already have decided on your future benefits strategy. However, an analysis of the data could tell you that you need to revise it. Ideally, you want to let the data define your strategy, as remember, the data just doesn't lie. Starting with this can give you a good foundation for your future benefit strategy, ensuring it delivers real value for your people and your business. The first element of data you should expect is it readily available and preferably in real time? In 2021, you should not expect to have to contact your platform administrator to run reports or view employee usage. Everything you require from the platform should be readily available for you to report on. One of the advantages of a platform is the ROI you will obtain from operating one, and the data quality and responsive MI it generates, which allows you to calculate the trend analysis, interaction, spend, and absence reduction. Data is important to your people too. In a data-rich environment, the ability to show simple things like the cost of the benefit to your people and how much it costs your business to fund it are great pieces of data for people to understand the value of their benefits. So having made our decision on our provider of choice, we will now consider what is involved in the migration process from where you are today to going live with the new provider. Your starting point will be determine just how large the project is likely to be and whether you are looking at installing a platform for the first time or migrating from an existing one. Just don't underestimate the amount of work that this is likely to be involved. We would always recommend your first step is to review your existing benefits to ensure you build in sufficient time to do that. Then you'll need to consider provider selection, contract negotiations, build requirements, testing, as well as the hard deadlines such as flex renewals, etc. The number of data fees, range of benefits offered, as well as the complexity of the platform structure will also impact on the scale of the project. Everything is likely to take just that little bit longer than you'd expect, so ensure you give yourself sufficient time to plan, build, and roll out the platform, although that's sometimes easier said than done. Introducing a new platform will potentially impact on a number of areas of your business, be that HR, payroll, IT, finance, and not forgetting your people. So make sure you get key stakeholders involved as early as possible and you arm them with clear objectives and tangible outcomes that you can agree so that a delivery plan to facilitate the smooth transition can be created and without incurring any unexpected banana skins being thrown your way from internal partners who are not aligned with your initial concepts. In creating today's webinar, we have made one assumption, and that is that you've already conducted a comprehensive review of your existing benefit offering. It's guidance we offer to anyone considering a platform, be their first venture or reviewing existing benefits. And if you haven't already done this, it should be the first task on your to-do list. There's little point in having outdated benefit structure or benefits that aren't delivering value sat on the best technology. All you're doing in such circumstances is to promote inadequate or inappropriate benefits. Our approach would always be to conduct a holistic review first, make any changes, and when you're 100% confident that the benefits are the best they can be, then start exploring platforms. So in addition to cost, you should also be considering the usage of benefits, the continued relevance of what is offered, and how this might have changed, as well as the service levels you receive and the effectiveness of your delivery method, be it consultancy support, platform, or any other mechanism you utilize. I said, crucially, are those benefits still fit for purpose in the new post-pandemic world we live in? Now, data is the key to successfully transitioning to a platform, regardless of whether you are moving from one for the first time or switching providers. In order for the new platform to be built and for rules to be created, you will need to provide a vast amount of data. You may either need to obtain this from existing platforms, sometimes easier said than done, obviously, or extract it from various systems and resources. Factor this into your transition management to ensure you can provide timely and accurate data. Otherwise, your project may get off to less than auspicious start. Your chosen platform provider, once selected, will undoubtedly provide you with resource and project manager from their side. But what about your own internal resourcing? A lot of the requirements for the various pre-launch stages will fall upon your shoulders to deliver. So who will be your internal project resource? They will need to understand how a platform works and the level of data required, potentially the differences between two different types of provider, have a detailed knowledge of the benefits package and qualification rules, how the platform integrates with payroll and tax implications, assessing communications and benefit wordings, as well as understanding how benefit accounting works. It can be quite a big ask, and even if you do have that resource internally, do they have the availability to run the project? It might be worth considering an external project manager for this element, who has the necessary expertise to liaise with all the parties to oversee and coordinate the transition management. Not only might this be more efficient use of resource, but it might also be a cost saving on your delivery. So you're about to embark upon a sizable capital expenditure. So it's good to give some thought about how you are going to communicate the changes to your people and create a buzz to build benefit engagement. Rather than just leaving it to the launch campaign delivered by the platform provider, consider how you might want to create a buzz around the new platform ahead of the launch to build excitement and stimulate engagement with your people. Think about running a pre-launch campaign over a period of weeks or months to build interest in your benefit offering and the reveal of the new platform. Maybe think about it as a two-stage process. Getting people interested in their benefits first, and then you're likely to find they are more engaged by the time they start to use the new platform. So the final element in this section is, again, you get to the launch stage. Now, from the perspective of the platform provider, their solution is going to be intuitive and easy to use. But are they really? Now, whilst this does depend on the user experience of each platform, this will be the perspective of the people who utilize these solutions every day. But does the same thing apply to your employees? And they may not find it as straightforward as you might expect. And therefore, this raises questions, or worse, disengagement with the platform. Have a look at what support services are offered by your chosen platform and the cost, and are these suitable for the demographics of your population? You may want to consider communications and how to navigate the platform, especially if you're switching from one provider to another. You may want to include online demos or publish a user guide to assist both existing and new employees to get to grips with your platform. Now, typically, these aren't included within the platform provider. A poor outcome after making this investment is to see a section of your workforce not engaging with the platform as they don't understand how to use it. And this is real life. We've recently undertaken this on behalf of a client where they put a new platform in, and we had to spend an awful lot of time communicating to the workforce just to help them understand how the new platform differed from the old and how to go about certain tasks and engagements. So it's a very real life thing that will happen. So next, we're going to look at the engagement techniques you might want to use. Now, utilizing engagement techniques to drive benefit engagement is frankly a topic worthy of a webinar on its own, but clearly time isn't going to permit that within this session. So we'll just highlight a few techniques you may want to consider for your chosen platform. So the way we engage employees and provide information are fundamental elements to achieving our delivery goals. So just consider how you're going to present information. The human eye processes visuals 60,000 times faster than text, plus the retention of visual data is twice as good. Think about how you present information and the learning journey your people go on. Consider which channels you can utilize to engage. 60% of our population are visual learners, 30% auditory. So you can use video rather than text to deliver messaging. Now, we often see benefit platforms which are just a digital extension of documents hosted on the site. Nobody wants to wade through a 25-page document full of insurance-related terminology. So as your entry point, keep the language simple and easy to understand, and keep it bite-sized. Little and often is likely to be far more engaging than a dump of information once a year. For many people, their smartphone is their primary route to finding out information, so it's essential that the platform is mobile-friendly. We've touched upon that earlier. What is the user journey actually like? This needs to extend beyond just the home screen, and the platform needs to resize to whichever device you view it on, as well as the transactional journey needs to be mobile device friendly. Now, you shouldn't assume that people understand how benefits work, as they generally don't. So by just putting the information online won't drive engagement. Now, this is the background to this project that we're illustrating here was a client launching a third-party benefit platform against a backdrop of generally poor engagement with their benefits. We helped them to create a pre-platform launch engagement journey over 3 months for employees, providing bite-sized communications about the benefits with short videos and clear benefit brand imagery, all linked to a central hub as a point of access. Now, we're just sharing this to highlight the value of a different approach where we created a journey, we engage the employees with the benefits, we provided multi-dimensional, easy-to-understand communications, which in turn led to a significant upswing in engagement with the benefits. Platforms offer you the ability to create a great engagement strategy with the tools to support it, but they have to be used if you want to achieve that engagement goal. Think about how we can personalize our communications, and we don't just mean putting someone's name on it. It's become a popular trade to use segmentation as a means to personalize messaging. But what segmentation do you choose? Age, gender, salary, location? Now, all are a valid basis for segmenting your workforce, but will this really highlight differences between different employees? You hold a wealth of data about your employees and key moments in their life stages, and data is the key to creating that truly effective strategy. From your various systems, you'll be aware of their age, salary, marital status, dependents, where they live, place of work, as well as much, much more. So, as with retail experience such as Amazon, data analysis can be used to identify needs and wants and deliver messaging and engagement at key times in your employee's journey. This is not using segmentation as a blunt instrument, but you can harness your data to talk to your employees as individuals to deliver that employee centric experience. Everyone has different things going on in their lives that are personal to them. Someone may just have moved home, had a baby, received a promotion, crossed a tax threshold, etc. We have all this information within our systems, so how can we create a truly employee centric communication about the benefits that appeals to individuals at just the right time? You can utilize all the data from the various systems you hold it on and use AI to create an amazing experience for employees to talk about how your benefits support them at the time that's right for them. Use push techniques to drive engagement with messaging that is short, sharp, relevant, with a call to action and direct to a place they can respond. In one of these examples on the slide, we can see that the data has identified that Sarah has potential issues with tapered annual allowance. So her nudge will alert her to the potential problem. She can take action, messaging that is relevant, personal, and time appropriate. These push notifications are not simply employee-centric messages, but crucially will also help drive actions. Each nudge gives the employee an ability to respond immediately to the messages they've received in just one easy click. So no putting that aside and thinking, oh, I must look at that later. In another example, Claire has just had a new baby. So her nudge lets her know the new dependent can be included on the company's PMI scheme for 12 months for free. And in 11 months' time, she'll get another to remind her that the free cover period is almost up. And does she want to extend her PMI to family cover? Hassle-free AI messaging can provide you with the next level of engagement for your benefits and is utilized to push techniques to drive employees to the platform rather than just hoping employees are engaging. So within our final section, we will look at how to use MI to evolve the benefit strategy. So the ability to access and interrogate MI is key to understanding what works and what doesn't, and allows you to evolve your benefit strategy. Probably the most powerful and valuable tool that any business has today is their data, with some analysts considering it's worth more than oil. Your data can not only support you in making good decisions, but can help you to drive engagement and to deliver the right messages to the right people at the right time. Regardless of the platform you're using, the ease of access and reporting of data is critical to enable you to maximize the value of your benefits. And if you don't have access to it or it's limited, that is likely to restrict the development of your strategy. This slide shows how the workforce of a business has evolved over time, with the trend to a more aged and financially rewarded demographic. This type of data analysis allows you to better understand trends within your business and evolve your strategy accordingly. Consider the demographics of your population. Can you segregate this into separate categories, say age, location, salary, and even gender? Breaking your population down like this will help you to understand how employees are engaging with benefits, what is popular with one group compared to another, and general usage. This will allow you to involve your benefit offering and make it more personalized for various groups, such as maybe adding non-pension savings options for younger demographic to help them address today's rather than future needs. If your platform's MI allows you to track usage, frequency of login, and which parts are visited, you can build up a picture of how employees are reacting to communications, and you can gain a better understanding of how groups interact with the platform and evolve your communication strategy accordingly. So just a quick recap on where we covered today. Just understand where we're starting from. Where does your business want to get to in the future? Have a clear idea of what functionality exists within different types of platform. Set yourself clear objectives with tangible outcomes to help you determine the right solution for you. But be realistic about timescale and budget and understand what is involved in the project and if you have internal or external resource requirements. Engagement is ongoing. It doesn't just stop once the platform goes live. So ensure you have the right tools and support to deliver this. And finally, frequently review the data to analyze this to ensure you remain on track with your chosen strategy. So just a couple of slides just to wrap up. We can provide you with assistance on your, regardless of what your platform requirements might be, whether it's the provision of a benefit hub to host benefits through to a full-blown platform, and even provide that external resource I was speaking about. Please feel free to get in touch with your requirements. It would be, we'd be happy to provide you with a demo of both or either of the options to see which might be the right fit for you. We can also assist you to create a really effective engagement strategy, be it content, benefit branding, videos, and delivery support for your platform, utilizing some of those engagement techniques we've discussed to make your benefits really pop. Your platform provides the tools for delivery, but it's this stage that can really take engagement to another level. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, we recently produced a guide to coincide with the webinar, so please feel free to download a copy or just get in touch and we'll be happy to send one out to you if you would prefer. So thank you for your time this afternoon. I hope you've found this of value. I know we've over a little bit in terms of time, but I'll open the floor now to any questions. Again, apologies to anyone who may have typed a question in as we've been going. But as I said, unfortunately, the box was so small, I couldn't read it as I was delivering the presentation. But I'll come across those now. If you would prefer, I said we're happy to have a chat with you about your own circumstances and what might be the best strategy for you or the different types of solutions out there. Please feel free to get in touch and grab a virtual coffee and we can chat through your details in more detail. So again, just drop us a line if that's something you'd like to do. But either way, the chat box is now open for any questions. Yeah, we've had a question here asking, could we send a link for the PDF downloaded, please? Yeah, we'll be happy to do that. More than happy to send you a link or a copy. We'll get it across to you. That was Tony Griffiths. So yeah, Tony, no problem. We're happy to do that for you. Apologies at this stage. The system is a little slow. I can see someone typing, but it takes a moment to come through. So apologies for the pausing. Does give me a chance to catch my breath, if nothing else. But as I said, I hope that you found that of use. I hope you found that there's some good ideas in there, and help you with your thought process in terms of the platform journey. Yes, the functionality is available across Europe. The platform can be global, and so are some of our delivery services. Again, one of the value adds of being part of the NFP group, we are a global business with some 6,500 employees across 300 locations. So whatever your requirements are, Deb, I'm sure we can assist you with those. Again, I do apologise for the slowness of this part of the function. It's not our tech, I have to stress. If it was, I think we'd be trying to get this speed up there. Just a little bit slow between you typing and it coming through. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think that looks like it's about it for now. So we'll bring this to a close. Again, thank you for being with us. If you do have any questions, please just drop me an email, david.roderick@nfp.com. More than happy to answer anything, questions you might have, and sort of, expand on some of the points made. But just want to say thanks very much for joining us today. Have a great rest of the afternoon or morning for some of our clients joining us from the States. And we'll hope to speak to you shortly. Thank you very much.